go. 3 lights, 2 lights, 5 lights, and when they go out, it will be race time in Australia! JP Lou, he's not giving it up that easily! Oh, it's done it! What's happened? What is it out of field? What is it out of field? Are you kidding me? It's not enough! Actually, what is it? Where's the driveway? And that's the American
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Fraser McKenzie here, commentator for the Extreme Racing League and Racing in the Talk of the Devil Racing League. This is our season preview program. In just a few short hours, we are going to be lights out for the first race of the season. There's one thing an F1 fan always looks forward to every year, and that is, of course, the start of the season. Who is going to have the advantage after the first race? Well, let's find out. So we managed to get ourselves a brand new website over the season break, TOTD and it looks fantastic. And there have been a lot of rule changes throughout the season break, throughout our end of season break. At time of recording, we are lights out in about 4.5 hours from now. But first off, let's guide you through how each weekend works with our new rules and regulations. First off, the practice sessions. They take place at 6 PM UK time on the day of the race, and it is a 30-minute. It is a full 90-minute session, ending 30 minutes before the race begins. Attendance is not mandatory for this practice session, but any additional team practice sessions will be organised by the team managers, which is one of the new things we have got in place for this season. Team managers for every team. How's about that? And the full-time drivers are to select their allocated full-time car only, and reserve drivers will be selecting their car allocated by their team manager on the day of the race. Qualifying session takes place 8 PM UK time. The lobby will open up 15 minutes before the start of the qualifying session to allow time for drivers to join and iron out any technical issues that might occur, be it with the host or for those that are streaming and commentating on the race. Full qualifying for Formula 2. Yes, we have Formula 2 this season. Will also take place at 8 PM UK time following the same lobby rules. For the race sessions themselves, there will be a 5-minute break between grid entry and the race start. Choosing to ignore this and readying up before an admin advises to will carry a severe penalty. Now that could be a race ban or a qualifying ban depending on how severe the penalty is. It will be a 100% race distance, so this weekend it will be 58 laps, and then we've got 100% feature race distance and 100% sprint race distance for Formula 2. And this will begin upon the admin signal, which is on the 5-minute mark, which is when one of the admins will begin the session. They will be the first to ready up. Readying up early will result in an instant race ban. More than one occurrence can result in removal from the league, so you've got to be careful here. If there are technical issues with more than 50% off the grid, a session restart will be prompted and organised by the admin team depending on the race distance completed at the time of the issue occurrence. a new race restart format may vary. Now that could be a complete race restart, a 50% race restart, or 100% race restart at a different agreed date. This might differ in Formula 2. There will be formation laps at the start of this season. Now Season 3 debuts a formation lap at the beginning of every race to help with tyre temperatures, etc. So this is the bit that we have all been anticipating. What is going to happen as far as the session settings are concerned. Park firming rules will be on, collision will be on, and the vehicle damage will be on simulation for the first time, and it will be on full damage for the Formula 2, and off for the vehicle damage will be off for the official practice sessions. Ghosting will be off, car setup will be on full, safety car will be on, as will rules and flags. Corner cutting stringency will be strict, formation lap will be on, race start will be manual, and tyre temperatures will be set to simulation for both the surface and the carcass as well. Assisting and driving aid restrictions. So here we go. Braking assist will be off and the anti-lock brakes will be on. Traction control will be on full. Automatic gearbox, pit assist will be off and pit release assist will be on. Full dynamic racing line and ERS mode will be restricted to manual. So here we go. The driving conduct. All drivers are expected to race with a reasonable level of respect and etiquette at all times, whether this be in an official league, race or exhibition event. You're not only representing yourself, but TOTD as well. Conduct is watched at all times. By no means does the below list cover everything, but it is simply a list of the standard expectations. When defending track position, only one sideways move is permitted. Track limits. For the track limits, drivers will make every effort to use track limits at all times and must not leave the circuit without justifiable reasons. If a penalty is given by the game and you deem this unjust, this may be reviewed through an appeal process. This applies to corner cutting also. Talking about corner cutting, the only time this may be permitted is under the safety car flags and only permitted for drivers at the rear of the pack, assuming they gain no advantage and are only doing so to catch the pack to reduce the time the safety car is on the track. Team orders. Now this is going to be interesting. Team orders must be adhered to at all times. Any refusal of this can be reported by a team manager and result in a penalty at the admin's discretion depending on the severity. Any driver or manager found to be involved in race fixing will be removed from the league immediately. Last thing we want to repeat of Singapore 2008. Drivers will leave the appropriate racing room 1 car's length when entering a braking zone. Forcing another driver off the circuit at any time will result in a penalty. Again, severity of manoeuvre, outcome depending. Reset into the track is not permitted at any point. This will carry an automatic 2-race ban and disqualification from the race. Rejoining the circuit, you should leave the circuit and should you leave the circuit and need to rejoin, please do so in a safe manner. Anybody thought to rejoin in an unsafe way or obstructing another driver will be placed under investigation with the correct video evidence. No unfair blocking of another car either in a qualifying lap or under race conditions by way of erratic, obstructive or dangerous driving. A reasonable speed must be maintained at all times whilst the track is under live conditions. Strictly no stopping on the track unless a mechanical failure prohibits you from doing so. It is prohibited to retire on track during a race session. If you have to retire, reasons need to be reported to the team manager. Please retire the correct way and do it in the pit lane. Any retiring on track will carry a race ban. And blue flags, be sure to allow the lapping car through in a safe manner. Should you be quicker than a car that has lapped you, you are free to unlap yourself. Be aware if you make contact with the car in a high position, the penalty will be significantly stricter than a normal racing incident. Causing a collision could result in an investigation with the appropriate evidence and could lead to a penalty. A reasonable distance should be kept on the formation lap within 5 car lengths of the car in front. Although the game will not penalise you for contact, this will be reviewed. This carries an automatic qualifying ban for driver initiating contact. And last but by no means least, you are expected to adhere to all of the above, including basic conduct, which we'll get into shortly, when racing in the midweek exhibition events. Also, although racing incidents do not carry penalties, you will still receive warnings for bad conduct from either the session host or TOTD/Extreme admins, because we have a partnership with the Extreme Racing League as well. Bad conduct will affect your league racing future, taken into consideration when transfers come around, and selecting reserve drivers. Yes, this is going to be interesting to see because we have contracts as well now, so the drivers will be expected to adhere to those contracts, and if they have any additional terms on those contracts, they'll need to adhere to those additional terms. Otherwise, they risk being removed from the team at the end of their contract. Incidents. Drivers wishing to report race incidents must be able to provide video evidence of a quality standard. No mobile phone footage of your TV. Incidents to be sent via messenger and respected admin. Incidents to be sent via messenger to respected admin by 8 p.m. UK time on Sunday, or 8 p.m. UK time on Monday for the Extreme Racing League. Admins reserve the right to issue any of the below penalties following an incident that include, but are not limited to, qualifying ban, driver is to play no part in the session and must not leave the garage, championship points deduction, time penalties, race suspensions or bans, penalty points on the driver's TOTD super license, race disqualification, instant dismissal from the Talk the Devil Racing Leagues, and stage 1 warning, final warning, potential removal from the league. Drivers may appeal any penalty handed out to them. However, they must be aware that this can potentially result in a harsher penalty being imposed. Any appeal must be made by 8 p.m. UK time on Monday or 8 p.m. UK time on Tuesday for the Extreme Racing League. Appeals to be made via the team manager. Any driver who receives 10 penalty points on their license will automatically receive a race ban. 20 points will be a season ban. Penalty points reset at the start of a new season. Penalty points resulting in a race ban that are accumulated on the final race of the season. The ban will carry over to and become effective for the first race of the following season. Drivers must accept that penalties may be issued as a result of poor connection. Lap 1 corner 1 incidents will carry a harsher penalty. And here we go, basic conduct. No advertising of any other leagues within TOTD unless cleared by league owner Callum Harrod first. If done, this will result in immediate dismissal from the Talk of the Devil. Drivers found guilty of misconduct for any of the following are subject to penalties stated in section 7.2. Deliberate rule breaking, bullying or harassment of any other driver, causing disruption in the league, Facebook or Xbox Live party chats or group chats, posting race incidents in the main chat, whether they are to be reported or not, interfering in an investigation. Any driver issued with 2 separate race bans in a single season will be removed from the league. So here we go. Driver contracts. If contracts are discussed before the end of a driver's current contract, the driver will not be permitted to sign for said team involved until the following transfer window, with a possible sanction for the manager. And the additional points. All timings stated above are GMT UK time zone. Please be aware of time zone differences for drivers outside of the UK. All championship tables will be final, with any points deductions showing in the following week's table. Any final decision, be it rules, regulations, change of times, or addition to the league, will be confirmed with the most senior admin, league or league owner, Callum Harrod. This includes decisions from other admins. These regulations are not conclusive, and individual circumstances not mentioned may still be governed by these regulations. These rules are subject to change over the course of a season and will be reviewed before the commencement of a new season. So that's the rules and regulations for That's the rules and regulations for this season. Of course, they are subject to change. But now, here we go. The TOTD admin and their roles. League owner himself, of course, Mr. Callum Harrod. Our first Talk of the Devil champion. Won the title in Japan in Season 1. And managed to secure second place in last season's championship, losing out to his former teammate Stephen Harrison. Mercedes winning both Constructors' Championships in those seasons. So here he is, Season 1 champion for Mercedes, Season 2 runner-up with Ferrari, Season 3 team manager for Mercedes and Racing Point, head admin, F1 and F2 admin. All key incident league decisions are run through Callum. Will have involvement in incidents, appeals, recruitment, and overall league development. Now he actually gave me the opportunity to be part of this league, and I really appreciate the opportunity he has given me. Joe Allen, Season 1 driver for Mercedes and Racing Point, Season 2 and 3 team manager for Red Bull and Toro Rosso. F1 and F2 admin roles, incidents, recruitment, and league development. Jamie Callan, now Season 1 driver for Toro Rosso, Season 2 driver for McLaren, and Season 3 driver. He has gone all the way to the top with our defending Constructors Champions Mercedes. F1 admin roles, incidents, and appeals. And Gregor Telford, Season 1 driver for Toro Rosso, Season 2 driver for Racing Point and Red Bull, and he's back at Toro Rosso for Season 3. F1 and F2 admin, incidents and recruitment, that's his admin roles, and F2 league management and league development. Dean Harrison, Season 2 driver for Red Bull and Mercedes, but managed to finish third in the championship. Season 3 driver for Red Bull, and he is in charge of incidents in his admin role. And we've got Joe Newman as well. Season 2 driver for Toro Rosso and Racing Point. Season 3 driver for Red Bull, F1 and F2 admin, website management, social media, incidents, and league development. And now we are going to get into the calendar. So, here we go. The Season 3 calendar is as follows. On the 25th of January, which is today, we are going to be starting in Australia, and then we'll have a race every week throughout this season. And my goodness me, this is going to be very interesting. February 29th is the first time the Talk of the Devil Racing League will be coming to Monaco. We had a practice race for the Elite League in Season 2, and the Extreme Racing League has been at Monaco, was at Monaco last season, and they will be there this season as well. With our homecoming at Silverstone on March 28th. March 14th is the opening day of the actual Formula 1 season in Australia, and at that time we will be in France. And it all climaxes with our season finale on June 13th. I'm pretty sure that's meant to be June 12th, but on the weekend of June 12th, that will be our season finale in Abu Dhabi. So here we go, the team managers now. We've got 5 team managers. Each manager will be managing 2 of our 10 teams. We've got Callum Harrod, who is, I mentioned earlier, team manager for Mercedes and Racing Point. We have got Ben Hazelwood, assisted by Michael Booker, for Ferrari and Haas. We've got Red Bull, Joey Allen, who is also team manager for Toro Rosso. Cesar Lopez, the boss of the Extreme Racing League, team manager for McLaren and Williams, which leaves Jabelu, also known as JBL, in charge of Renault and Alfa Romeo. Yep, that cheery Kirby music, folks, means I get to have a crack at something the WTF1 team are very well known for: their race rundown. But let's see. So how it's going to work here, right? So the teams will be as follows. It will be Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren, Renault, Toro Rosso, Sport Pista Racing Point Formula 1 team, Alfa Romeo, Haas, and Williams. Now, so here we go. We've got Jamie Callan and Anthony Waddington for Mercedes, Dean Blackwell and last season's champion Stephen Harrison for Ferrari, Joe Newman and Dean Harrison, Stephen's brother, at Red Bull, Jorge Simon, and we have got Elijah LeBlanc for McLaren, Dean Barry and Jamie Keats for Renault, Gregor Telford and Devon Little for Toro Rosso, Arthur Bowler and Andrew Jashk for Sport Racing Point Formula 1 team. Yeah, Sport Racing Point Formula 1 team. Alfa Romeo is Neil Mate and Matt Anderson, Gareth Lambourne and Anthony Bauer for Haas, and Michael Savage and Jerome Isaiah Lamy. Right, so let's try and do this race rundown style. Here we go. Callum Watson, Black Belt, Stephen Harrison, Newman, Dean Harrison, Simon LeBlanc, Barry Keats, Delta, Little. I got halfway through. Halfway through for my first attempt. Callum Watson, Black Belt, Stephen Harrison. Flip. Callum Watson, Black Belt, Stephen Harrison, Joe Newman. Why am I saying full names? I say because there's two Harrisons. There's two Harrisons here, and I've got right. Callum Waddington, Blackwell, Stephen Harrison, Newman, Dean Harrison, Simon LeBlanc, Barry Keats, Telford, Little Bowler, Jack. Oh dear, here we go. Callum Waddington, Blackwell, Stephen Harrison, Newman, Dean Harrison, Simon LeBlanc, Barry Keats. Callum Waddington, Blackwell, Stephen Harrison, Newman, Dean Harrison, Simon LeBlanc, Barry Keats, Telford, Little Bowler, Jack, Nate Anderson, LeBlanc, Gareth Bauer, Sarge. I was one away. I was so close. Callum Waddington, Blackwell, Stephen Harrison, Newman, Dean Harrison, Simon LeBlanc. Callum Waddington, Blackwell, Stephen Harrison, Newman, Dean Harrison, Simon LeBlanc, Barry Keats, Telford, Little Bowler, Jacques, Nate Anderson, LeBlanc, Bauer, Savage, Azam, Lemay! Woo! Woo! Nailed it, eventually. Oh, I managed to get to that one. Oh, flip, I've just realised. I'm going to have to go through the Formula 2 drivers now. This is going to end well. So here we go, the runners and riders for the Formula 2. So here we go. First off, we've got the Dams Formula 2 team, which is Ross Pilgrim and Chris Harley, managed by Joe Allen for Red Bull. ART Grand Prix, myself and Aaron Knight, managed by Cesar Lopez for the Williams team. Carlin is Scott Larvin and James Tarr, managed by Callum Harrod for Mercedes. Campos Racing is Luke Chance and Darren Hicks, managed by Cesar Lopez for McLaren. Virtuosi Racing is Jimmy Lafreniere and Matt Goodyear, managed by JBL for Renault. Trident is Luke Unthank and Pushkar Nigam, managed by Joe Allen for Toro Rosso. BWT Arden is Kieran Riddle and Trevor Eriksson, no relation to Marcus Ericsson, for managed by Callum Harrod for the Racing Point team. And we've got Prima Racing, Sam Congreve and Ryan Sturman, managed by Ben Hazelwood for Ferrari, assisted by Michael Booker. And MP Motorsport is Darren Lightoller and Adrian Solomon, managed by Ben Hazelwood, assisted by Michael Booker for Haas. Okay, oh boy, my second race rundown of the day. This is gonna end well. This is definitely going to end well. I am not looking forward to this at all. We saw how badly I messed up with the race rundown for the Formula 1 drivers. Let's see if I do any better for the Formula 2 drivers. So here we go, race rundown for the Formula 2 drivers. Here we go. Pokemon Harley, Mackenzie, Knight, Larvin, Tar, Chance, Hicks, Lafernia, Goodyear, Ownthang, Nagam, Riddle, Ericsson, Congreve, Stormer. Ah! Flip! Pilgrim, Harley, Mackenzie, Knight, Larvin, Tar, Chance, Hicks, Lafernia, Goodyear, Ownthang, Nagam, Riddle, Ericsson, Congreve. Same place as last time. Ah! Pilgrim, Harley, Mackenzie, Knight, Larvin, Tar, Chance, Hicks, Lafernia, Goodyear, Ownthang, Nagam, Riddle, Ericsson, Congreve, Storman, Lightoller, Solomon, Smith, Edwards. Whew! Didn't take as long as last time. Oh boy, but there we go. So with that, that is our season preview program out of the way. Now, it's time to get ready for Lights Out. In just over 4 hours from now, again at time of recording, we will be getting ready for the first race of the season. Who will draw first blood for the championship this season? Will it be our defending champion, Stephen? Could someone from Mercedes spoil his party? Or could it be someone else altogether? And what's going to happen for the first Formula 2 race of the league? The only way to find out is to stay tuned. Until then, we will see you guys out on track at 8 PM UK time for Lights Out and the Australian Grand Prix. Until then, bye-bye for now.